talked about a lot of conferences that would have the players that the Big Ten had would probably go to the NBA. And Evan Turner was really the only guy that the conference lost to the NBA. And so when you have that kind of returning firepower coming in, the conference is going to be as tough as any in the country.
Wisconsin, you had a chance to come up and watch practice, and I think Keaton really stuck out to you. What else did you take away from?
Yeah, Keaton was shoots the ball as well as anybody in the conference, and I mean he's a big guy, and he's added a level of size. He's gotten stronger. I've always thought John Lure was one of the better players in the conference, and he's finally getting the recognition for being preseason first team. Jordan Taylor has always been very good, so I think they'll be great.
Jordan Taylor. I mean, what he was able to do last year playing alongside with Trayvon, I think you saw Jordan take his game to another level when it counted by hitting big shots, making big plays down the stretch. Now he's able to feel himself and say, now I'm the leader of this team, and I think you see bigger play. Keaton Aikenville helps play off of John Lure very well. Off the high pick and roll, can step out and shoot. His improvement last year. And, of course, Ryan Evans has a great opportunity to step in, Rob Wilson to come in and provide some quality minutes, and Jarmuth as well. And what you'll always see is a team in Wisconsin that continues to get better as the year goes on. So you'll see a pretty good team at the beginning, but a better product once you start getting deep into the Big Ten and close to Big Ten tournament time.
Well, I think it's definitely one of the top 3 teams in the league. I think that Wisconsin is a team who last year surprised a lot of people, but you always seem to fly under the radar and then make a push at the right time. And there's such a solid class coming back, and obviously with the departure of a leader in Raylan D'Elia, but there's so many other people who can collectively fill that void. I think that the sky's the limit. I think it's a team that always plays so well together, that always hangs their hat on defense and always hangs their hat on being a good teammate and chemistry-wise. And those are intangibles that you can't put on paper. And I think the difference is going to be playing from the front of the pack. How do they respond mentally? How do they respond emotionally with being the ones who are targeted? And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge. And if they can come out strong and be able to overcome that, then I think there's great potential for this team.
What about Alyssa Carroll, one of the top team players returning in the conference?
Yeah, one of the things I love about Alyssa Carroll is that she's so steady. You can't tell if she's high or if she's low, and she'll always come out and she'll take the big shot, and she's not afraid to miss the big shot. And so many times, a lot of people don't want to take that shot because of the fear of missing it, and I love the fact that she will. But she's definitely one of the top players in this league. She's a player who's going to come in, and you know what you're going to get night in and night out, and I think that her game has grown from a leadership standpoint, and I think that's one of the things that this team's going to need.
What did you learn about John, and what kind of player is he? And just a little bit about John, I guess.
Yeah, John and I were roommates actually in Las Vegas, and he's a tremendous player and he's a great guy as well. I think he made a lot of great plays, and I think he really stood out there playing for USA Basketball.
What do you think about the league as a whole this year? This is a group that was a young league 2 years ago and pretty good, and now that all you guys are upperclassmen. How do you think the league's developed?
It's going to be a tough year. I mean, you look around the table and you see all these great players for each school, and you realize how tough the competition's going to be. And it's also exciting knowing that you're going to be going against some of the best players in the country each night.
Is it kind of fun to get to something like this and see all these other guys you play against kind of outside the basketball?
It's fun seeing some familiar faces, and it's fun, seeing the guys you go head to head with and get a chance to talk with them here and there, which is great.
I mean, you could be a 6th or 7th place team in the conference this year and still have a really, really good year. And I think it's as deep as I can remember, at least since 05, 06, and maybe in the last decade. A lot of guys that are coming back, a lot of experience, a lot of scoring, a lot of rebounding. And I saw the preseason all-conference team. I think it'd be hard to argue with those selections. If I had to make a choice, and it's not just because you're from Wisconsin, my preseason choice for Player of the Year would be John Lure. I just, he kind of had that injury last year, and he started to really round into form, and that the experience he had in the offseason is really going to pay dividends for him. I think the league is going to be a lot of fun to watch if you're a fan of college basketball.
John, I think, has kind of shown up on a lot of people's radar. What about the supporting cast, a guy like Aikenville that's kind of emerging still?
Well, I think, Keaton Aikenville has shown that he can knock down some threes and stretch the defense. I really like the type of player that Bruzewicz is. I think he's going to be a nice player for him. And you cannot – they lose 2 very, very experienced guards in Trayvon and Jason Bohannon. But, Jordan Taylor played a lot of minutes, so it's not like someone's taking over with the ball that this is going to be foreign territory to him. You can't overstate the importance of that. And if they can find somebody, you're not going to replace Jason Bohannon, but if you can find somebody that can keep that defense from completely packing it in, and that guy may be John Lure in the beginning because he can really stroke the ball, and you know that they're going to be so sound fundamentally, and you just love watching Wisconsin play. And John Lure, you could see it as a freshman, and he has really developed as a player, and that speaks to the coaching staff and how they go about doing things there.